Okay. Cool, we should be live. I'm going to close Facebook because I need all the bandwidth I can get. Just to make sure everything stays solvent. Are you, you got the link open on your side?
No.
Okay, we'll open it so we can make sure it's streaming.
I wonder if Nintendo will claim this.
I can't remember how to play this game. What's that now? What am I doing? There we go. Brandon? Is there?
I don't know.
Because there's like, I hear almost nothing in the room on my side. Alright, I cannot focus on this game and also do a podcast, so I am not going to do this one. While you do the sound issue stuff, I'm going to check these. But no, in all seriousness, Breath of the Wild.
Oh, but then this video is going to get claimed.
Oh, well, I mean, do we expect to ever make money on our like 10 to 20 hits we get each episode?
Oh, I know what it is. Do you have like gain on that whatever somewhere? Because it's really. I don't hear you on the stream. No, I don't hear. Oh, I hear me. Honestly, I gotta say, this thing does not do chat audio well at all.
How about now? Can you hear me now on the stream? Did that fix the problem?
Yeah.
Okay. I had it deactivated for no reason at all.
Gosh, for whatever reason, I'm like extremely loud on it.
I don't know why.
Yeah, like peaking loud.
Jeez.
And I have the gain. I have no gain on my mic.
Here, let's try reducing it a little bit and see if that helps. Speak. Check your audio on your side. Well, check the audio in the actual stream playback.
I'm trying, but I'm
Well,
waiting.
You have to speak and then wait for the for the thing, because I just reduced the output on sound capture.
Yeah, but you keep talking.
Sorry. Hi, Trent.
That's much better.
Okay, cool. All right. So we ready to do the thing?
Do the thing with the thing?
Yes, we're going to do a thing about things. Things that are largely disappointing.
Why does it show Medal of Honor?
It shouldn't. Can you log into YouTube and change that? You have the power, because I changed all the titles on my end. Should have updated all that. But no matter. Trent, are you there? Trent there or not?
Oh no, the title shows correctly, but stupid YouTube didn't update the game.
Oh, I got it. Once Trent speaks and we are aware that he is there, we can get started.
I hear.
You hear him?
Uh huh.
I don't.
Well, I mean, I don't hear him talking, but I hear his mic moving.
Oh. Keep checking my phone to see if he said something in the chat as to whether or not he is there.
Okay, I gotta turn that off.
What is it? Trent can't hear us. He's having issues on his end. The thrills, the excitement of a Z-Trigger live stream, and no one can hear half the people that are talking.
Yeah, man, this list of games sucks.
Save your commentary for when we are actually recording the show, because you don't want to exhaust all those malignant thoughts of how the industry is treating us now. I still haven't got that power back. I can't go do these stupid.
A steampunk mech combat game.
Hey, I can hear you now.
Oh, hey,
I
there's
gotta
Trent.
look this one up.
Hi, Trent.
Hey.
How's it going?
All right.
Very nice. Well, we are ready to get rolling if you are.
Okay, which one we doing first?
We're going to go ahead and do the E3 stuff first.
Okay.
Just because I've already got the game stream rolling, and whenever we do our book show, I'm not going to be recording, I'm not going to be streaming the game anymore when we do our book show, because I can't talk about a book and play a game at the same time, and that angered our only listener ever last time. So let's not do that again. Alright. You want me to kick it off, Brandon, or you want to do it? Or
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll do it. Just let me know when you've got a fresh audio file going and you're ready for me to.
Go ahead.
Alright.
Oops.
I wanted to move my table closer, sorry.
I thought it was a drum roll.
That'd be the dumbest thing we've ever done to our show, and that would be impressive in the long list of dumb things we've done for this podcast. Oh, I'm in a hole. I can't get out. Oh, I can climb out. Okay. Silence. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Z-Trigger Podcast. My name is William Hill.
I'm Brandon Harris.
I'm Trent Crump.
And we are all welcoming you to our podcast for this week. We are live streaming Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild on YouTube as we record this. So if you are watching on YouTube, thank you for joining us. We've got a very interesting show for you tonight, sort of, because E3 was this week.
Yay.
Yay!
Man,
but
It should be more energetic than that.
it should
be.
But that doesn't mean anything after this year of questionably performed pressers and such. But before we get into all that, because that's the meat of the show. What have you guys been playing this week while being disappointed by E3?
I have played absolutely nothing.
How about you, Brandon?
I played a Diablo clone. It's not a very good one. It's called Vikings Wolves of Midgard. And I was like, honestly, the only reason why I picked it up is like, oh, Diablo clone. I can get into those no matter what. Because, I am a loot whore. And I thoroughly enjoy grinding levels and getting new loot to help me grind more levels. But this was not very good. It comes off cheaply made, and
as I feel like most Diablo clones do.
Some do. Some do not. Like Titan's Quest. That one's actually considered to be a really, really good one. This is a more modern one. It's only been released in, I think, either just released this year or it's been very recent. Anyway, it doesn't play that way. It plays like it was released years ago, and that they try to sort of copy more the feel of Torchlight than Diablo itself. And they just don't pull it off very well. It didn't really, hit me very well. So I don't think I'll be playing it very much.
Do you remember I think it was when we were in high school, there was one that came out, this would have been like 2003, 2004. It was like a sci-fi-ish Diablo clone. Do you remember what the name of that was by any chance?
I remember it, but I don't remember what it was called.
I remember it being painfully disappointing. Is all. Because I wanted it to be Diablo in space, basically, or Diablo on a spaceship at the very least. And it was not. And I cannot remember the name of it now. I've not seen it on GOG, so clearly it wasn't good enough that people were demanding it to come back.
No, I can't imagine so.
So about this Viking Wolves of Asgard, I don't need to go out and hunt down a copy to join you in loot grinding.
No, not at all. I mean, it was the premise was like, oh, I'm a Viking, and I get to lead my own clan.
Okay.
But it just didn't go. I didn't like it. Yeah, not that I'm like ultra picky about how my action RPGs feel or play, but this one just it just felt like a cheap game. So
who's the publisher?
God, I don't even think I even looked at who the publisher was. Let me see.
That is not a good indicator of its qualities.
Oh, it's from people who I've never heard of. Games Farm and Calypso Media Digital. Who the hell that is?
I know about Calypso. If I'm not mistaken, I think they published Tropico.
They do. And they should.
Good.
Tropico. I like Tropico.
Yeah, Tropico's a lot of fun for a game where you play as a, Castro-like dictator and build a country around that particularly flawed set of ideals. Makes for a fun city sim at the very least.
Yes, I always enjoyed the radio, always talking shit about you.
As for me, just like last week, I've mostly been playing Final Fantasy Tactics, which I'm now into Chapter 2 on my restart of that game. And I'm still enjoying it. I've almost got a oh my god, an arithmetician started, so the game's about to get a little bit easier. At least that's the way I've always been told that the game will go. But we will see. And I will let you know next week if it gets any easier. I kind of doubt it because that game is a monster and it's literally been haunting my backlog for 15 years since the first time I tried to play Final Fantasy Tactics.
Wow.
God, that made me feel a little bit old. Because I remember the exact first time I got to play it was I borrowed it from Beth, if I remember right. So, it's been a while. Well, anyway, we need to get down to business because it was certainly an E3. I don't even know how to even broach the subject because it wasn't an eventful E3 because I can't recall very many things that were truly exciting. Like the past couple of years E3, there was enough going on that it was impressive, except for Microsoft, who has never had a really good E3 show in my memory and experience.
Nope.
So,
did you notice that they would all come out wearing leather jackets? If you were a Microsoft employee, you wore a leather jacket.
I only noticed the one guy who was.
It's like the guy, Phil. Was it Phil? What's his last name?
Oh man, I can't remember micro dude's name.
Anyway,
in
the
leather
guy,
jacket.
the head guy of Xbox, he came out when I was like, hey, he's wearing a leather jacket, and then a lady came out, and she was also wearing a leather jacket. I was like, why are you people wearing leather jackets? It
Because
can't
4K
be
is cool,
cold.
Brandon, and you must believe it is cool with their hip Fonzie jackets.
Yeah, I was about to say we're releasing Grease, the game.
Oh God.
Dude, that would have been so much more interesting than what they did actually
Yeah,
announce.
it would have at least been an original idea.
So
Exactly.
would that have been an offshoot of like those Sing It games where you sing all the songs and in the background the movie plays out?
No.
Yes, Brandon. Grease, the video game, would involve you singing and dancing along with all of the songs from Grease. It would
That
appeal
would be
exclusively to
interesting.
Grease fans who own the Xbox One.
With Kinect.
Yes, because you'd have to buy Kinect 3 with your Xbox One X to have the proper 4K next
So you can
generation
dance.
greatest gaming experience ever.
But hey, it would be the first game to combine both singing and dancing. Usually you just did one or the other.
Yeah.
God,
Why
could you
has no
imagine-
one come up with that yet?
Can you imagine how out of breath you'd be trying to like
So
untrained
what you're saying-
sing and dance Grease?
So what you're saying is it would be a Nintendo title because they're all about health and everything, and that would definitely be a very stressful exercise and futility.
Wait a minute, Brandon. Are you telling me that you'd find Grease the video game to be stressful?
Trying to sing and dance at the same time and listening to those songs while you sing them, yes, it would.
You would have the bonus problem of not having ever learned any of the words to a Grease song, wouldn't you?
Probably. Even though, like, most parents have watched that movie like a million times.
Kidding me? I saw it I want to say somebody played it in a music class, one of our music classes, like middle or high school.
I saw it in. Besides watching it a lot on video, I saw it on its 20th anniversary. Was it 20? Yeah, 1998. 20th anniversary theatrical re-release.
Jeez.
So Trent, are you trying to tell me that Grease is the video game dancing, singing thing that you've been waiting for?
No. They need to do Saturday Night Fever for me.
All right, so
Lord.
you want Saturday Night Fever, the game. Got it. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, at least that movie had a more of a plot, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so what you're saying is that Microsoft should not be announcing Grease the video game. They should have released Saturday Night Fever the game. And
Yes.
Ubisoft needs to stay away. Is this what I am understanding?
But sadly, this means they're going to come up with Urban Cowboy, the video game, and
Oh Lord.
Oh my god, we're launching a subgenre here. Oh,
I can see
no.
them doing a singing and dancing Frozen video game.
oh
I think
no.
that would sell.
Trent, I need you to do something with that idea and let it go.
Oh.
I have no shame. But no, let's actually look at the Microsoft presser. This was the thing that a lot of people were looking forward to, the reveal of the Xbox One X, or the Scorpio if you haven't heard about it already. I think everybody who's
It was long.
that was okay. I'm going to point this out again to you guys because I know I've been harping on this ever since they did it. They did the exact same show when they announced the Xbox One. They came on stage and they said, "Hey, we've got the sweetest, most powerful new hardware in video games. It's called the Xbox One. Here's our new game, Forza 4." And then they showed Forza. No, it was Forza 5 at the time. Then they showed Forza 5, which I really like Forza 5. It's really good.
No, this time it's Forza 7.
Well, yes, I'm getting there though. And then they showed the car that's in the trailer. And that's the exact same thing they did for the Xbox One X.
Well, that's
cannot-
Microsoft to a T. Repeat themselves.
You know, you'd think that they would have learned their lesson from how poorly the Xbox One has done at sales, because the PS4 literally outsells it 2-1. They're not impressing me with their reveal of this system, partially because I already didn't care about the Xbox One X. And literally everything Brandon has been predicting about this console for the past 6 months since we've been talking about it came true in the past 5 days. Brandon, give us a roll call. Everything you've said about the Xbox One X that is true.
Oh, the fact that the companies aren't actually going to, make a special version of a game just for their console, that they're going to do parity because it's the cheaper way. I mean, honestly,
Destiny 2.
First
Destiny
party
2.
title, like first party titles, I expect those to be exactly what Microsoft is pushing forward. But everything else is just going to be, there's not going to be anything special about it for your console. It's not going to be the Ultimate Edition because they're just going to give you the same edition that they're going to give to PC and PS4.
Because like I was just saying, Destiny 2, there was a lot of conversation about that. Destiny 2 on the Xbox One X is going to be 30 frames per second, despite 4K.
And they don't even know if it's going to be 4K. It's still left to be seen.
But at least
they've
have
already
Anthem,
said
right?
that even that Anthem will not be true 4K, or at least not all of it. It's weird. There some parts will be 4K, but most parts won't be 4K. I don't know if it's because the console just can't handle it, or they're most likely because the console just can't handle it. Because modern computers, unless you have like 2 Titan X in your computer, most PCs can't actually handle 4K at at a constant frame rate that's playable. The technology just isn't there, which is one of the reasons why I was always calling foul on this thing with Microsoft, is because they're talking shit.
And then, of course, I saw an article yesterday that kind of addressed one of the problems I see with this thing. So what's the hard drive size on the One X? I actually did not hear anything about that during the presser, and I didn't look.
I don't think they said anything, but I imagine it's probably going to be a terabyte. Or, what was it like? The Forza would be 100 gigs.
Yeah, 100 gigs of space just for textures. So you're talking about using 1/10 your hard drive on a single racing game. Imagine whenever.
I'm assuming that's just the straight download size.
Yeah, it is. So, but think about that. That is. I think that the largest install I have on my PS4 right now is for Witcher 3, and it has both expansions, and it's 65 gigabytes.
Mm-hmm.
Or something ridiculous like that. And yeah, that's 1/10 of that hard drive, but it's a 500 gig hard drive that the system came with. We're talking about something that came out 4 years after the initial launch of the system. It's going to have a terabyte in it, just 2 times as much. These games are not feasible. I mean, let's look at it from the perspective of my internet in Raleigh.
God, that would take forever.
Well, yeah, not even the length of time that it would take, but also the fact that Time Warner just got bought out. And it's Spectrum now, and Spectrum's going to be instigating limits, like data caps, of like 250 or 500 gigabytes. You're
Really?
talking about a 100 gigabyte, it's still. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting that part wrong, but I think that if I remember right, it's 250 gigs. If you buy 2 games in a month, your entire hard drive just got eaten by a single download. And that's not going to get any better as time goes on. And this is from the company that was trying to push physical games media off the market 4 years ago because of used games. They need Blu-ray discs to keep this kind of thing alive. And even Blu-ray discs aren't big enough for a 100 gigabyte game. Because how big is a Blu-ray disc? Doesn't it cap out at 50 gigs?
I think so, but do they have dual layered Blu-rays?
I do think
now?
they do have dual layer discs, but that even then, that's a full Blu-ray for Forza. I mean, like, I really don't see this being sustainable as time goes on. And I don't actually have a problem with the concept of 4K gaming. I mean, if you really need that, fine. But it's not, I don't think that the market's ready. And then they plop a $500 price tag on this thing on top of that, which was the initial price of the Xbox One anyway. This is a joke when you really break it down.
When the Xbox One was $500, it came with the Kinect. Came with extra piece of hardware.
Wow, that is
this
no
is
longer
just
packed in.
Yeah, this is just the price of the console.
Oh, but you get 4K, you get shinier graphics. Isn't that important?
Only if you have the TV. I mean, most people don't have. That's the other thing. Most people don't have 4K TVs. I mean, that's like, you're talking probably another 5 years before we start seeing a shift to being dominated by 4K.
Yeah, like the mass proliferation of 4K television has not happened yet. And yeah, we're probably a couple years from everybody having made that upgrade, or at least a substantial amount of people having made that upgrade. So I don't know. This thing does not seem like the answer to all of Microsoft's woes with selling their system. And that's not a slight against the hardware itself. It seems like a fine piece of hardware, even though everybody's doing checkerboard rendering on it, which is, not the optimal way that I am aware, that I've heard of, for I don't know anything about rendering. Why am I going to try and pretend?
Honestly, it's the same thing that the Pro does to render 4K.
So, in other words, all of their posturing that this is the most powerful game console in existence, it's just words.
Yeah,
it's just PR
speak. Technically it is, but that doesn't mean it can still do what they're claiming it's going to do. I mean, it may do it maybe slightly better, but in the end, it still can't do it.
And since they didn't have the kind of games that they need to sell this thing on stage at E3, I don't know what they're trying to sell, and I don't know who they're selling it to.
That was me. It was like, I'm sitting there watching this thing. I was like, okay, Microsoft, make me go out and want to buy one.
Yeah, I mean, I have an Xbox One, and I was looking for a reason to say, man, they really did need to make this.
And they didn't. It was like, it almost came off as if it's like they don't care. It's like they just like, yeah, you just go out and buy this, and then you can buy all these old games. No. Why would I do that? I could just buy a regular Xbox One and play those games.
Yep.
Why do I need to spend $500 and buy this one? If I wanted like a 4K Blu-ray player, I could just buy the Xbox One S. It has those capabilities.
But does it do UHD Blu-ray or whatever it is?
Yes, that's the point. It is considered one of the cheapest 4K 4K Blu-ray players you can buy. Which is great if you want.
You don't even have a 4K television yet, so you'd also have to buy a TV.
Yeah.
Yep.
Of course, it will still look better because it will res down. If you have a good TV, it should still
it has to be a large TV.
Yeah, and
like 70-something inches.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because even computer monitors can do it, and they're not 70 inches. That's like one of the things that people do is the people will jack up the resolution to like 8K, and will scale it down to create these higher resolution images that they'll take pictures of and send it out to the internet. That's what this will do. Like, it will take the 4K and it will scale it down, but it will still look better than it did before, which is also one of the perks of doing something like that. But still, you're still not getting the full 4K benefit.
But did you see anything that as far as games that actually showed the power of 4K and actually made it seem like a console worth having?
No, God no. I mean, there were like I remember there being
Sorry, go ahead. Trying to get
no,
a
I was
different
gonna say it's
answer
like there were things that they had that looked nice and things I was like, hey, that'd be cool to play, but not something that's going to make me go out and spend $500.
Did you see a single game during the Microsoft conference that would draw money from your wallet?
No, that's what I just said. There's nothing on that stage that would make me go out and spend $500, especially when a lot of those, some of those, especially like with like Metro. That's like I enjoy the Metro games, but that's coming to other consoles and PC too. So I have once again no reason to spend $500 on this. They had nothing that's exclusive to the console, truly exclusive. Timed exclusives don't count. That's eventually going to everything else.
Yeah,
I'm okay with waiting. I mean, I am perfectly fine with waiting. I waited with Tomb Raider. I can wait for all that too. And then that comes that now that you mention it, they came up with an article like not too long ago saying how we have other stuff, but we just don't want to show trailers for games that are 3 years out. What the fuck is it doing 3 years out? The console's coming out now, not 3 years later. Now,
exactly. They needed to sell the One X this week. They have 5 months to market for this thing, and they didn't convince anybody. Like, I've seen almost zero hype articles about this thing. Just about every article I've seen, trying to keep up with what's going on with the One X, has come across as, yeah, it's coming, but why does anybody care? Who is this for?
It's for the quote unquote cult of Xbox people. The hardcore fanboys. This is what this console's for, because they're the only ones who are going to buy it. Your average casual gamer who wants to game is not going to spend $500 for this when they can go out and spend soon to be $250 on a PS4, $250 on an original Xbox One. Why would they spend $500 on this when there's absolutely no reason to do so?
Not at all. And that's a sad show for what Microsoft's got to deal with in the next couple of years, trying to sell a piece of hardware that I don't see people wanting, because they don't have any exclusives that are drawing people to the console. I mean, do you know what my favorite thing that Microsoft showed this week was? A 3D mascot platformer. A game that seems like it was ripped out of the late 90s. It's called Super Lucky's Tale, and it looks fantastic. I would love to play it, but here's the thing. That is not a AAA release. It's literally a $30 day one game. And it's not enhanced for... it's enhanced for 4K, but what is that going to improve? It's a cartoony mascot platformer.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, what? Well, who cares? It's a cartoony mascot. It's not going to look any better.
It's an adorable little cartoon fox who kills things with his giant bushy tail. I mean, that's not a game that benefits from the ultra-realistic graphics of modern video gaming. Blah is my entire reaction to Microsoft's presser.
Yeah,
for a couple of games, it was cool. Like, I also like the fact that Ori and the Blind Forest has got a sequel coming out.
Yeah, Tacoma, I thought that was quite nice.
Tacoma looks really cool, but that's going to be on everything.
Mm-hmm.
I was just really disappointed, Microsoft.
I mean, but honestly, that's just like a sign of things to come with E3 in general this year. But what's sad is, if this was like an official like console launch, this would be, I would think, would be considered the worst in history.
Yeah, but
I mean, because Yeah, and which is, like I said, I think that's what they're hinging on is the fact that